On the line now, Tonya Powers from Fox News. The primary action has begun. Tonya, good morning. It's now New York and Pennsylvania. Good morning.
Good morning.
So the heat is on, and it seems as if the Democrat primary might be a little closer than everybody thought it was in Hillary's home state.
It might be, and there's been a flurry of campaigning, obviously, here in New York over the last week, especially leading up to the primary on the 19th. And of course, we got that debate with the Democrats that's coming up on Thursday in the Brooklyn at the Brooklyn Navy Yard. So that'll be interesting. The gloves have kind of come off with Bernie and Hillary in the last week or so, and I think both of them are out there trying to scrap for every vote they can get. I mean, Bill Clinton, the former president, he is here in New York today and tomorrow for Hillary in this area, and obviously Bernie was. I think he did several stops in one day over the weekend.
And the Fox News poll yesterday still has Hillary with a pretty commanding lead, though, like 53%, somewhere in that range.
Yes, I think overall voters. 49% to Sanders, 38% on the GOP side. Trump, of course, with 48%. He's doing well. But when you take a look at the polling numbers for, and I'm sorry, that's Pennsylvania. I was looking at the wrong state. Because Pennsylvania is the other big one that everybody's talking about right now because of the number of delegates, especially on the Democrat side. Those two are for Pennsylvania, so I apologize, wrong number there. But if you take a look at also the Pennsylvania, the primary voters, they say that they would rather, as far as the Clinton versus Trump, what they would do in November if they had to vote right now for that one, it would be Clinton-Trump tied 44%.
Wow, that's an interesting little
Yeah,
number
that
right
one kind of is because, it's Pennsylvania, but, that's the polling that keeps getting done is okay. If it was this matchup in November, who would it be?
On the other side, Trump with a pretty commanding lead, but there's just a lot going on between Trump and Cruz right now.
There is, and as you mentioned, Trump is doing well. He's in New York here. He's polling at 54%. Kasich, though, in second place with 22%, and Cruz in third at 15%, which is that's how it's been pretty much the whole time. I think the second choice for New York all along has been Kasich.
Yet they're arguing over the delegates. Was it Wyoming over the Colorado over the weekend?
I think it was Colorado was the one that Donald Trump tweeted about, basically accusing Ted Cruz of stealing all the delegates.
Saying that this is supposed to be a democracy, but really primaries are not anything about being a democracy. It's a little club, and they set their own rules, and we'll see what happens in New York and Pennsylvania. Tonya, I appreciate your time here this morning.
Sure, thanks.
All right. Tonya Powers, Fox News. Yesterday, the president was on Fox News Sunday. It's his first ever appearance on with Chris Wallace, and that was kind of interesting. First time he's been on there. The battle between Trump and Cruz over these delegates in Colorado, isn't it? You really can't call this process a democracy.
No, you can't call what we have a democracy. We're really a republic. So,
right.
But
in terms of the primary, it's not even close.
No,
it's the rules that they set. There are delegates. It's set that way. It's always been set that way, which is why you always hear two words, the label ground game. You have to have a ground game if you're running for president. And, oh, by the way, Trump just hired somebody to handle that, but he's way behind the eight ball, and this is a perfect example of it.
And there's definitely cronyism. And, it's so funny because we have so many people talking about smoke-filled rooms. The only time I really think of smoke-filled rooms is during this process, more than anything else, because there's deal-making that goes on behind the scenes.
But it's a party that's picking its candidate.
Right.
It is not the people picking a president.
Right.
It's the party that picks a candidate.
Right.
And while I do think it's going to make for an amazing convention, there is deal-making going on, and you saw it here where Trump thought he won. But somehow Cruz walked away with all of the delegates. It's just the system, and it's interesting. And now here we are with a focus on New York, and you're going to see a lot of the TV commercials, a lot of appearances. They're all who's in town today. You got people in town. They have been. They're now going to be Trump with a rally. Kasich. Last night I was at the Turning Stone, and it was Steve Martin. And who's the other guy that was with Steve Martin?
Short?
Martin Short, who was really, really funny. And Martin Short did this. They did this ventriloquist bit, which I won't get into. But they were going over each of the candidates, and he had something funny, Martin Short did, of each of the candidates. And he's going through, and there's Trump, and there's Cruz, and there's Hillary, and I think he called Bernie Sanders. He described Bernie Sanders as, doesn't he look like a bouncer at a lesbian bar? I thought that was very funny. But then he kept going candidate after candidate, and then he came up to Kasich, and he's like, I don't know who that guy is. And then they moved on. It's kind of funny because Kasich was Kasich. That's been Kasich all along. He's not been the guy that's out in the forefront, but here he is in second place in New York, way ahead of Ted Cruz. Pretty crazy as we watch all this stuff unfold. All right, more on Will Smith coming up. It's a Monday morning. We'll get started. Christine has the full news coming up next on WIBX.